What's up, everybody? It's Carmelo Anthony, and you're watching JRSportBrief. Peace.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's JR. You are checking out the Sport Brief. We have a special guest in the house, and it happens to be JR Wisdom on a Wednesday. I know we generally get it on a Sunday, but it's Wednesday. Why not? It's my main man, Nate Checketts. How are you, Nate?
Doing well. How are you, JR?
Good to see you, man. I'm always well. Of Rhone Apparel. How's everything?
Everything's going great. Yeah.
Rhone Apparel, we're going to talk about that on JR Wisdom every Sunday. I try to drop people off with little nuggets of information they could take and carry with them in life.
Yep.
What you're doing with Rhone has a whole lot to do with inspiration and getting people up. But first of all, you're a Knicks fan, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Grew up around the Knicks. What's going on? The season is just about over. What are your thoughts on those guys?
You know, I grew up a Knicks and Jazz fan, and I was talking about this with somebody the other day. You could combine their wins, and they might not make the playoffs. I mean, it's been tough as a Knicks fan to watch, you know, what's happened to them over the last really decade.
Yeah.
But the challenge is you kind of always get your hopes up. So you bring in Phil Jackson, and you think to yourself, all right, Phil Jackson, basketball legend. Yeah, he's taken a huge sum. Maybe he's not going to be entirely focused, but this is the Zen master. He's going to figure something out. And it's constant disappointment with these guys year after year.
Listen, I don't care if they were running the triangle, the trapezoid. I mean, there's
the
shapes.
Squared one.
Square. There are shapes that I'm not familiar with, but I don't know if it makes a difference with this roster.
Yeah, and payroll's not going to solve it either. You know, they've been among the highest payroll. Yeah. Lowest performance, one of the worst performing teams of the last decade.
Well, as a Knicks fan, we can always say this: there's always the future.
That's right, and there's always the past, thankfully, to reflect on.
Well, it's a long past, 1973 of a past. I wasn't born. I don't think you were born.
No. Neither
one of us were born. And so maybe we'll get our 1973 sooner than later. Because Walt Clyde Frazier, I think he just turned 70 years old.
I know. Dave DeBusschere, Frazier, Willis Reed, Bill Bradley, those guys, yeah.
Those days are done. Hi, Patrick. We love you too, okay? Just let's leave it at that. We love Patrick too.
Of course.
Now, fill us in on Rhone, for everyone who is not familiar.
Yeah, so Rhone Apparel, spelled R-H-O-N-E, is a premium men's activewear brand. So that means that we take the absolute finest fabrics, the best apparel technology, and we make activewear, meaning stuff that you can wear in the gym, but you can also wear it in transition and still look stylish. So the idea is that you want to be comfortable, but you also want to have clothes that perform, and you want to have clothes that fit well. So with Rhone, we try and marry those three things. We don't put branding that's in your face, that's really prominent. We use subtle branding techniques. So all of our apparel is named after inspirational male icons, guys like Walt Whitman, Ernest Hemingway, John Muir, Sun Tzu, Abraham Lincoln. These are guys who have lived incredible lives and inspire us to be better. And so what motivates me on a daily basis is how can I be a better father, a better husband, how can I be a better man in my community? And having these guys that I reflect on and remember, and certainly some great athletes that we could talk about as well, it helps me to remember who I am and who I'm trying to be. So then we take some of their words of wisdom and we put them on our clothes. So this right here, there's a quote on here. It says, "It is better to travel well than to arrive."
Right.
And we take these types of marks and we put them in the waistbands and in the drawstrings and on the inseams. So again, while you're working out, while you're reflecting, while you're traveling, you can remember who you are and who you're trying to be.
So was that something that was an idea from the onset, or was it the development of the actual clothing first, and then you said, we want to put kind of tying these inspirational quotes? Or did the whole idea come from, we want to inspire people and we're going to use clothing to do it?
Yeah, it was a bit all at once, to be honest with you. I've always believed that, you know, we talked about Bill Bradley. This is a guy who's written some really incredible books, The Values of the Game, and, you know, We Can All Be Better. And I've believed that we can use tools to inspire and promote people to live better lives. Not try to be better than the person next to them, but to be better than they were the day before. And clothing is an interesting avenue to do it in, because if you think about what products you have with you at all points of the day, it's your phone, maybe a piece of jewelry, but it's your clothing. And our clothing is with people in the most important moments, when they're not in the office, when they're not working. It's when they're traveling, it's when they're working out, it's when they're with their children and their friends. Those moments of reflection are exactly when I want people to be thinking about what type of people they want to be.
That's awesome. Now, who were some of these other athletes? You mentioned some. You mentioned Walt Whitman, Ryder. Who are some of these athletes that you just look at as inspirational figures? Is there anyone out there, past or present, that you just go, wow, what that dude is doing or woman is amazing?
Yeah, I grew up in a family that was passionate about sports, and my two favorite movies growing up were Hoosiers and Field of Dreams. And that's how my parents raised me. It was kind of look at this sports icon, look at what he stands for. And a lot of times the principles weren't, necessarily friendliness. It was kind of determination, grit, hard work. And numerous athletes that I could point to, from all the way back to the great boxers of the 1950s, 60s, to great basketball players in the 90s. We talk about Pat Ewing, one of my all-time favorite basketball player. And the Knicks teams in the 90s who were hard work, tough-nosed.
They didn't play any games.
Yeah, no, I mean, every game was a playoff game for them. That's why people liked watching the Knicks in the playoffs, because it was like, they're gonna, if this is their playoff, then when it's playoffs, they're gonna elevate it even more. So for me, yeah, I mean, I talk about Bill Bradley, but he was one of the guys whose books really influenced me when I was younger. I think about some modern day athletes like Ray Allen. His son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and he's been actively involved in JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 5 years ago.
Wow.
So to see an athlete like that get involved in his community, be proactive and participate, and it's not at face value. He's not trying to get more Twitter followers or, it's a special photo op. He cares about it, and he's using his platform to give back. That's what I believe in. Those are the guys that inspire me. Right.
It's the way it is. Where can people find out more information about Rhone?
So you can buy our gear online at www.rhoneapparel.com and at Bloomingdale's in 20 locations and at 13 Equinox locations and at Nordstrom's.com.
That's
so
awesome.
Expanding all the time.
Now, if there's one thing that you want people to take away from purchasing, wearing, and participating in the brand and the gear, what is it?
I think we are trying to build the absolute best product for men, and we focus, the products and the fabrics we use, they're just better than what's out there. Where you might see a big box retailer spending $2 to $4 a yard on fabrics, we're going to spend $6 to $12 a yard on fabric. We use silver in our clothing to fight man stank and odor and bacteria. That's permanent, and that's different than most of these other companies that use chemical-based sprays that get absorbed into your...
Wash it one time, it's done.
It's gone, and it gets absorbed into your skin.
Ew.
And so we try and make the best, and we try and outfit the best people. We try and outfit remarkable people that are trying to be better each day. So we're not looking for followers, we're looking for members. We want people to be part of the community, give back, wear the clothing, and try and be better, and that's what we're trying to promote.
I love that. We're not looking for followers. We're looking for members. That's Rhone. It's my main man, Nate. Nate, do me one last favor before we get out of here. Just wave bye to all the wonderful people.
Thanks, guys.
Don't be a follower. Be a member. So look, folks, it's JR. It's the Sport Brief. We're not followers. We're members here. I'm a member of Rhone Apparel. I need you to do me one last favor. First of all, go ahead. Go to Rhone. You need to keep up with Nate. Second of all, you need to click subscribe. Is there anything else that you want these wonderful people to do?
Keep following you. You're a good example.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. Nate said it.